Okay, so let us recap what we have discussed in the yesterday session just quickly. So what we have seen the business taxonomy. So the business taxonomy is nothing but creating the business structure, which contains three components. That is the business issue, business group, then proposition. Business issue is nothing but the purpose of the promotion. That means the goal of promotion, why you are promoting. Business group is nothing but the category of promotion, which is nothing but under which category this particular offer belongs to, right? For example, this offer belongs to laptops, this offer belongs to mobiles, this offer belongs to credit cards, like that. Proposition is nothing but promotion itself. For example, some i5 laptop, okay, neo credit card. So these kind of examples you can have for propositions. So then we have seen the SR class. SR class stands for strategy results class, right? We have seen that is nothing but strategy result class. Okay, SR stands for strategy results class. Now, uh, this SR class will automatically gets created whenever our application has at least one business issue. At least one business issue, if your application is having, the SR class automatically gets created in this format, which is application ID dash SR dash the business issue name, okay, whatever the business issue that you created, dash business group name. That is how the SR class format will be there. Okay, now all your properties you can keep it under this SR class only. So that's what we have seen, right? Then we have two types of forms: generated form, custom form. So for example, let us say you have a proposition something like neo credit card. For this proposition we have some properties like credit card monthly EMI, okay, uh, total credit card tenure, okay. So like this you can create the properties, and you need to make sure that all the properties are present in the generated form. All properties created in SR class, either you create at a issue level, you create at a group level, you create at SR level, but whatever the properties that you create, they should be added in the generated form. That is what we have seen. Then we have the custom form. So if you need advanced controls like drop downs, radio buttons, etc., you need to create custom form. So this is where we have seen the things yesterday, and we have seen the strategy introduction and some basic component. Clear till here? Any questions till here? Whatever we discussed, is everything good? Understood everything till here?
Understood, Ravi. No questions.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Understood. No
Okay,
questions
yeah.
from me.
Okay. Uh, okay. So now what we will do, we'll just go ahead and we'll proceed with the more strategy components. So in the yesterday session, we have understood the introduction to the strategy canvas. Then we have seen the filter component and proposition data component. So today's session we'll see more components which are there in the strategy. Okay, we'll see more components which are there in the strategy. So in order to go to the strategy, you need to go to the intelligence and strategies, okay, from the customer decision hub portal, that is a CDH portal. So this is one way of going to the CDH portal. Second way is, if you go to the intelligence prediction studio, then you need to switch to the dev studio. So that's what I told you right before also, that all the Pega decisioning topics, whatever the whatever the Pega decisioning topics are there, all the Pega decisioning topics you can practice in the Pega Dev Studio in the personal edition. Okay, that means if you have personal edition, you can practice everything in your personal edition also. So if you go to the decision, here also you have strategy. Now it is up to you whether you want to create strategies from here, whether you want to create the strategies from the CDH portal. It is up to you, but you can create from both the places. Now let us create from here. So I'm creating a new strategy. Let us call it as so let us call it something like strategy demo. Sometimes it will be slow, so just bear with it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm calling this as strategy demo. Okay. So yesterday also we have discussed the strategy results class. So basically the strategy is nothing but the decision making component in the Pega decisioning. In the entire Pega decisioning, the most important feature is strategy, because the strategy is the decision maker. So whatever the next best action which is coming from the strategy, that will be delivered by the Pega marketing. Okay. So the output of the strategies will be the propositions. Okay. So output of the strategy will be propositions. For example, your credit card, laptop, mobile. So whatever the output will be, the output will be the propositions. And whatever the business issue and business group that you select here, you can output the propositions only from this business issue and this business group. Okay, if you are selecting like this. For example, if you are not selecting anything, then you can propose the propositions from all these issues and all these groups. So the same thing we discussed yesterday also, right? So now for example, I am restricting to grow and credit cards, which means I can output the propositions only from this particular issue and this particular group. I cannot output the propositions which are there in this mortgages group. Okay, issue is nothing but the goal of the promotion and group is nothing but our category. So I can only output the propositions only from credit cards. That's what I can do. So now as usual, we need to keep the strategies in the customer class or the primary context class. So then I am clicking on create and open. Okay, I am clicking on the create and open. So now we will see more components on the strategies. Okay, so this is called as a strategy canvas. Okay, this is called as a strategy canvas. Okay, so this is called as a strategy canvas. We have seen this yesterday also. So now you can start adding your components to the strategy canvas. So I told you, right, two ways. You can click on this component and add the components, or you can right click here and then also you can add the components, whichever is comfortable for you. So let us go ahead and let us add our propositions. So in order to add the propositions, we have the proposition data. So I'm just importing this proposition data. So when you double click on this, you have an option to whether import all the propositions or whether you want to import only one proposition. Okay. And again, we have restricted the strategy results class to grow dash credit cards while creating the strategy. So you can see that this is disabled now. If you are not restricting the issue and group, then you will see this enabled. Okay, you will see this enabled. Okay, so that is an important thing, very important thing. So you need to know whether this strategy logic is specific to this group or it can have the logic for other groups or other groups also. So based on that only you need to either select or do not select it. So now for example, I am selecting standard card proposition. So then I am just right clicking. I go to the import proposition data. Here I am importing rewards card. For example, this proposition I am importing. Now let us see the set property. Okay, so in the yesterday session we have seen the proposition data, we have seen the filter component, then now we will see what is the set property. So the set property is just like a property set, right? In activity you have property set which is going to set the property values. Same thing the set property will also do. For example, you want to set some values to the properties, right? For example, you created some properties right yesterday, like credit card monthly mi applicable for below 21 years old or not. So like that we created some 4 to 5 properties, right? So those properties if you want to modify, right, you can do that in the set property, just like a property set. That's what it will do. So let us do that. So what I will do, I'll just open the set property. I'll say add item. Then I will set the values for some properties. Again, like I told you, right? You can use the properties which are present in the SR class that you have created. Okay? Or you can use the properties from the applies to class. That's it. In a strategy, very important thing, remember this thing. In a strategy, you can use the properties only from the SR class or from the applies to class. So here our SR class is CDH-SR-grow- credit cards, right? Because you see here, while creating the strategy, we have restricted to grow- credit cards. So I can select the properties only from grow- credit cards only. So that's the reason if you try to add item and if you say dot, you can see here whichever properties were there in the SR-grow- credit card that will be displayed. So right now there are no properties, that's why nothing is displaying. Okay, so now if it is not there, it will go to the parent, right? That's the reason the parent class properties are getting displayed. So for example, I am selecting average cost. So I am giving the average cost of this credit card as um, some 500. Okay, then I will say set standard card cost. Okay, this is the name of the component and I am selecting average cost. So now I can use the properties from the SR class, like you see here SR class, but there are no properties in grow-credit. That's why it is taking the parent. Otherwise I can use the properties from applies to class. How do you use? You will say primary dot. So when you say primary dot, whatever is the applies to class that will be coming, right? This is a primary dot, you know already these things. So now I'll say dot average cost equal to 500. So now the same way I will set the average cost for this also. So for example, I will say here um, set average cost of rewards card. So then I will say add an item dot. Okay, then I'll get the SR class property average cost and I'll say for example 300. Okay, and remember that there is another thing called as source component. If you see here, source component is there, right? Source component means whatever the component that is connected to this component, those components are called as source component. So for this component, standard card is connected, right? You see here, standard card is connected. So that is called as a source component. Now same thing here also. For this component, which component is connected? Rewards card is connected. So that is the source component. So by default, the components class context will be whatever the component that is connected. Okay, this component class is what? SR class, right? Strategy results class. SR dash grow dash credit cards. That is the component class. So the same class context will be applied to this component also. Okay, remember that. Okay. So for any component, whichever the source components class is there, the same class context will be applied to the current component also. Okay. So now I have saved this strategy. Now how do we execute this strategy? Can anyone tell? We have already seen this yesterday also.
Toggle, right side
Hmm?
toggle.
Yes, correct. So we need to click on the right side toggle. Then you need to click on the run button. So in order to execute the strategy, we have two types: single case, batch run. Single case means running the strategy with single customer. And again, right now we are not checking with any customer data. So if you are not checking any customer data, you don't need to select the customer again. That's the reason I'm not selecting any customer. Okay. Batch means running the strategy with multiple customers. Single case means running the strategy with single customer. So now I click on the run button. So shortly we'll see how do we test with a customer also. That also I'll show you. So now you can see that we got the both the offers in the output. Yesterday also we discussed, right? The component output will be displayed if you click on that particular component. Very important thing. Okay, in order to debug, very important thing that you need to know. So the output of the you can see the output of a component whenever you click on that component. You see, now I am clicking on this component. Now when I scroll down, I can see the average cost is empty, right? There is no average cost set for this component. But now when I click on this component, I can see the average cost is set as 500. So in the strategy, all the components output will be there in the results, and the component level output will be there whenever you click on that particular component, so that you can see, okay, I'm having 0 here, I'm having empty here, now I'm getting 500. If it is expected output, then it is fine. If for example, if it is not expected output, you can open that component and see why it is coming as 500. Maybe the calculation is wrong, maybe the data types are wrong. So like that, some reason will be there. Okay, that way you have to debug the strategy. So now finally I got the results, and you can see now standard card is having 500, rewards card is having 300. Okay, rewards card is having 300. So like this, you can use the set property shape, the set property component, in order to set the properties. Any property, either in the SR class or in the primary class, you can just use this to override the existing property value or set the new property value. For that purpose, we'll use the property set. That's a set property. Clear on this? Any questions? So we can see, right, the average cost that you have set equal to 300, that is coming in the output. Clear? Any questions still here on this component? No questions? Okay, so now let us proceed. So now we will see one more component. So we'll see one more component that is called prioritize. Okay, so again, what all we have seen, let us just recap once again since yesterday. So we have seen proposition data, which is nothing but used to import propositions into the strategy. Okay, it is used to import the propositions into the strategy depending on your SR class selection. That means, for example, if you selected grow credit cards as the business issue and business group, then you can import only the propositions from credit cards group. But if you did not select anything, then you can import the propositions from other issues and other groups also. So depending on that selection, you can import the propositions. Next, we have seen the filter component. This is used to filter the incoming results based on the filter condition. For example, you are sending two results to the filter. You are saying average cost is greater than 400. Then only the standard card will come in the output, because the average cost of this is 500. So the remaining results will be filtered out. Okay, remaining results will be filtered out. That is what the filter component will do. Then we have the set property. So what does a set property will do? It is used to set the property values, okay, or override the existing property values. For example, if the property is already having some value, it will override that. But if the property is not having the value, it will set that. That's what it will do. Basic thing, okay. Next, we'll see prioritize component. Okay. So next we'll see prioritize component. What is the purpose of prioritize component? So the prioritize component, as the name clearly tells you the meaning of that. Prioritizing is nothing but sorting, right? Sorting. So you can do the sorting based on a particular property by using the prioritize shape. You can do the sorting based on a particular property. So if you open the prioritize shape, this is where you can do the prioritize. Okay, that means this is nothing but a sorting. For example, I want to sort whichever the cost is high, I want to show first. Whichever the cost is low, I want to show low. That means I want to sort based on the cost. So that I can do with the prioritize. So when I open the prioritize, this is where you will give the property value. Very important thing that you need to remember is in the prioritize shape, we cannot sort based on multiple properties. We can only sort based on a single property. Okay. For example, I will say, I cannot do like average cost. Okay. I cannot do something like this average cost and uh, credit score. This will not work. Okay. This will not work. So you can use the prioritize shape to do the sorting only on a single property. Okay, if it is a numeric property, you can give it in the prioritize values shape in this checkbox, in this radio button. If it is a non-numeric property, then you can select alphabetical. Okay, so but I can only select only one property, but for that one property I can do some expression, like for example I can convert this to decimal, I can convert this from lowercase to uppercase, something like that. I can do some expressions, but I cannot use multiple properties in the prioritized shape. So now, for example, I'm giving like this average cost, and I'm saying sort highest to lowest. Okay, I'm saying sort highest to lowest. So let us do one thing. We'll do like this one has 200. Okay, we have this one as 200, and this one is 300. Okay, now highest will be what? Highest will be 300. So then I'll give the component name. I'll give component name as sort by average cost. Okay, I'm giving component name as sort by average cost. Okay, now let us run the strategy. So I'm just clicking on this icon and I click on the save and run. Then let us see whether the sorting is happening or not. Okay, you see now it is getting sorted, right? You see in the results I got two results. The first result became rewards card and the second result became standard card. Okay, the first result became sort rewards card and second result became standard card because we are sorting based on the average cost. And you can see the first one average cost is 300, second one average cost is 200. That is the reason it is sorting like that. So you cannot sort with multiple properties in a single component. Remember that thing. Now, if I want to sort based on average cost and I want to sort based on credit score also, then how do I achieve that? If I need to sort based on two properties, you need to add one more prioritized shape and you need to add the credit score property there. Okay, so that's how you need to do. For example, I need to sort with two properties, then you need to add two prioritized shapes. For first prioritized shape, you will keep one property. For second prioritized shape, you will keep two second property. Same way, like if I want to sort with 10 properties, you need to add 10 prioritized shapes. So that's the disadvantage that we have here. Other than that, it will work as expected. But the only thing is you can use one property per prioritized shape. Okay,
We have some
then
right there. So then based on
okay,
that
can
we
you
can able
please,
to do.
sorry, can you
Hello.
repeat again? Yeah.
So we have the use data. Sorry, we have. Can you click on the gear button? What options we have? The gear
Okay.
gear icon.
Hmm. This is a function builder. Okay, this is a function builder. That means you can use all the functions that are there in Pega.
Then if we can able to do the function through that, we can able to do we can add a LF string here. We can add everything, whatever we want, right?
Yeah, we can add, but it will not work. You can add whatever you want, but it will not work because the component is built like that. You can add any enhancement for this property, but not another property. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, you can add like two integer, two decimal, or you can convert this from lowercase to uppercase, something like that. All those enhancements you can add it, but you cannot add multiple properties. That's the thing. Okay, because the component is like that. The component's functionality is like that. Okay, so I'm saying sort from average cost highest to lowest. So I'm doing from highest to lowest. Then we have output all and output top. So we have output top means what? Output top means output only the top. For example, let us say you are getting some 10 results. You are getting some 10 results. I want to output only the top 3. Then I can select this option. For example, I'm saying output top 1. Then I'm clicking on submit and save and run. That means I'm resulting only one result now. That means whichever is the highest average cost, I am getting that. You see, that is what I'm getting now. Okay, I'm getting that is what I'm getting now. Because I am outputting only the output one. Okay, that means I am outputting only the top one. That means whichever is the highest average cost, only that one I'm taking. So like this also you have, like for example, I'm saying I need the top three average cost credit cards. I need the top 5 average cost credit cards. So like that you need to specify the number here so that only that will come. If you want everything to come in the output, then you can select all. Now if you have 10 results, all the 10 results will come. If you have 20 results, all the 20 results will come sorted by the average cost. So that is the purpose of this output top or output all. Okay. Now we can also do the sorting for non-numeric values. For example, if it is a numeric value like average cost, monthly MI, you can do the sorting based on highest or lowest. What if it is a text properties? So for that you can do the sorting with alphabetical. So for example, I will say sort by PY name. Okay, I'm saying sort by PY name, whichever is ascending. Okay, so I'm saying ascending, then I'm saying submit. So that means in ascending order it will be coming. Okay, in the ascending order, whichever it is there, it will come in the ascending order. You see, that's the reason it is coming reverse card as first. Okay, because R will be first, right? After R you will have the S. So reverse card will come first and standard card will come later. So that is sorting alphabetically from alphabetical order ascending to descending. Otherwise you can do descending to ascending also. That means reverse. So that is how it will work. So now if you can see, we are selecting descending here. You see now standard card is coming first because S is last and R will be before, right? S will come first and like this. So like this you can use the prioritize shape in order to do the sorting based on a single property, which is numeric value or alphabetical value. Clear? Any questions still here? So I'm just I'm just adding here again. We'll share this notes to you. Everyone will be getting this. You can go through the notes. You can go through the PPTs. Everything is there. Prioritize component used to do sorting based on a single property value. Okay, or let us say based on a single numeric property value or sort alphabetical order based on non-numeric value. If it is a non-numeric value, you can do alphabetical sorting. If it is a numeric value, you can do based on that particular property only, based on the single property. That is what the prioritize will do. Okay, any questions still here? Is it clear, everyone?
One question, Ravi. Is it possible to set the properties conditionally?
Yeah, you can do that. We can keep the expressions. So this is the expression builder. So you can use all the expressions, like you can use date, time, the function, two decimal, all the functions that you know. So for example, I can say, I can keep the if condition, right? If I'll say if, you can say like this, okay, primary dot average cost equal to not equal to null, something like this, okay. Then set it as 200, otherwise set it empty, something like this. So this is like how you can keep conditionally, right? You can just keep a function and you can keep it. If this is not equal to null, then only set it as 200. Otherwise, set it empty like this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can keep this if condition and check the conditions. That's what you can do. Yeah, you can use any functions. Okay, all the functions are supported. You can use the functions here. So yeah. Now let us go to the next component, which is the um, okay. Let us go through the which one? The switch component. Okay, we'll go through the switch component. So I'm doing one thing. I'm just removing this prior. We'll keep this. Okay, we'll keep this as it is. So now what we'll do, I'll just take one more component that is called switch component, and we will understand how does the switch component works. So I'll add the switch component here. Okay, so let us go to here. Okay, this is called switch. So what is the purpose of switch component? Okay, what is the purpose of switch component? So the switch component is used to switch between the incoming results. Okay, it is used to switch between incoming results based on the condition. So same like a decision table. Similar, it will look similar to a decision table. Okay, so if you go open the switch, you can see here. Yeah, I'll do one thing. I'll just delete this. I'll just delete this, and we'll just connect here. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'll just make it easy for you. This is standard card. Okay, standard card cost. Okay, this is the name of the component, standard card cost. This is the name of the component I'm giving as rewards card cost. So I am connecting these two components now. Now what I will say, I will take the customer data. For first time I will take the customer data. So just try to concentrate. So we are now checking with the customer data. Till now, since yesterday and today, we did not check anything with the customer data. But now I am going to check with the customer data. So I'll say, for example, check customer income. Okay, check customer income. That's what I'm saying. Now what I will say, I will say here, select this component if. Now how do I say the customer data? How do I use the customer data? Two things. If your class is customer class, if your applies to class is customer class, simply you can say primary dot. Or if you are in any other strategy, for example, you created your strategy in some other class which is not customer class, you can still prefix the keyword called customer dot. So remember this thing. Okay, this is an important certification question. Okay, I have seen this question coming in every version. Okay, the thing is, in any strategy, whether that strategy is created in customer class or some other class like work class or some data class, whatever it is, in any strategy which is created in any class, you will have the customer page available already. Okay, the predefined page will be there for any strategy in any class which is having the prefix called customer dot. So simply, even if the strategy is in any class also, you can just say customer dot in order to get the customer properties. So this will be pointing to your primary context. 90% of the scenarios, the primary context will be customers only. Okay, most of the scenarios, customers will be primary context will be customer only. So that is the reason they have given the keyword as customer dot, which will point to the primary context class in your context dictionary. Okay. So that is what the thing. So I can say like this customer dot, and I can select the customer properties. Since my strategy is already in the customer class, I'm just taking primary dot, but still the customer page will be available. So for example, I'm saying the primary dot annual income greater than, let us say, I'm saying like 5 lakhs. Okay, I'm saying customer dot annual income greater than 5 lakhs. I am proposing a rewards card, and here I will delete this and I will say otherwise select standard card cost. Like this I'm selecting. Not only this, you can select other components also. Okay, you see all the components are coming, right? You see standard card, rewards card, standard card cost, rewards card cost, all of them are coming, right? You can see all of them will come. So the switch will work like this. Select one component if this condition is satisfied. Select the component 2 if some other condition is satisfied. Select the component 3 if some other condition is satisfied. So that is how the switch will work. Right? Switch based on the condition. That is what we are doing here. So what we are doing here, switch based on income. That's what we are checking now. So if the income is greater than this, select this one. If the income is less than this, select this one. Okay, like that you can keep all the conditions, and which condition is satisfied, that component will be selected. Okay, which condition is satisfied, that component will be selected. So now I am selecting like this. This is gone. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so this is what we are selecting. So if the income is greater than 5 lakhs, we are selecting rewards card cost. Otherwise, we are selecting standard card. So again, it's just we are selecting this component. That's it. Now, clear till here. Switch, what the switch will do? Switch based on condition. Okay, which condition is satisfied, that appropriate component will be selected. So like that you can keep 10, 20 conditions, like that you can keep it, and you will also keep the otherwise. So it is same like if, else if, otherwise logic. This is same like a decision table, that is if, else if, otherwise logic only, it will apply here also. Okay, clear till here? Any questions? Okay. So now that we have used the customer data, let us see how do we check with the customer data now. So again, sometimes you will get this empty screen, so no need to worry, just you need to refresh, that's it. Okay, this will happen in your real-time project also, just you need to refresh. Okay. Now let us see how do we test with the customer data now. I have given the condition which is there in the customer table. Then how do I test with the customer table? So same procedure. How do we test it? How do we run the strategy? How do we test the strategy? In order to test the strategy, you will do single case or batch run. But till now we did not see the customer data. That's why we did not select anything. Now we are seeing the customer data. We need to create a data transform. Three options are there. We'll see these two options in the coming sessions, but today we'll be seeing data transform. So what I will do, I'll create a test customer. So let us call it as demo customer. Okay, I'm just creating a demo customer. So what we are doing now, we are doing unit testing, whether our strategy is working or not. That's what we are doing. So as part of that, we are creating a data transform with hard coded values. Okay, with hard coded customer values, we'll be creating a data transform. So again, there is some context issue there here, so just please be noted, but I'll tell you how to bypass and all that. Okay, you see this, it's not working as expected. So ideally this kind of errors won't come right in your real-time project. So we'll do one thing, we'll just try to see if any existing data transforms are there. Okay, for example, let us open this response DT. No, it's not this. This will not work. So we'll do one thing, we'll take some other data transform. Let us take this, if possible. Yeah, let us take this. Okay, so I'm just taking this data transform here, and what you need to do, you just need to hard code the customer data. Whatever you want to test, you need to hard code that. So what I have taken income, the annual income, right? So for example, I'll say annual income of the customer. Okay, I'll just need to keep here customer dot, I think, right? That is also difficult now. Okay. I don't think this will work again. We'll try. Okay, we'll try this way. Okay, ideally you need to create a data transform and you need to keep the data transform in the customer class. But here that some environment issue is there which is not allowing us to create a data transform. So that is the reason I am keeping like this. So I'm saying primary dot annual income. I am giving something like 4 lakhs. Okay, I'm just giving it like this. So let us see. Okay, it's saying this application context error is there. We'll do one thing. We'll try to create from this.
We don't have the save as option.
Save as also.
Like we can open that and we can save as, and so that
Hmm.
new one will get created.
Yeah, let us try because due to some
We can use
environment,
the
it's not
PY default, right? What run
PY
in that?
default is also in other class only, right? It is throwing some error because because the rule set is different, right? So this is in some process rule set and this is in CDH rules. So that rule set validation error is coming. So we'll try to save as if this works. Let us see. Looks like it got created, but let us see if it works. Okay, so I'll say annual income equal to 4 lakhs like that. Okay, so this should work now. So now I have created one data transform, which I am keeping the annual income as 4 lakhs. Then you can simply use that same data transform that you have created. So click on down arrow. See again, there's some issue with the context. You see, whatever the data transform that we created, right? It's not displaying. Just try to give it without selecting. Let us see if it saves. Yeah, it is saved. So let us click on save and run. Yeah, it's saying, you see, it's saying it's unable to find the data. Some environment issue is there here. That's the reason it's not working. But what I want to know is, so do not call it as a data transform. So there is a specific name is there for this, which is called as persona. Okay. So a persona is nothing but, okay, I'm just typing it here so that you can go through again. So persona, what is persona? In Pega decisioning, we call it as persona. A persona is nothing but a data transform with hard-coded customer data used for unit testing purpose. Okay, used for unit testing, or you can say just testing purpose, for testing purpose. That is called as a persona. So in Pega decisioning, persona is nothing but a data transform which contains the hard-coded customer data mainly used for testing the strategies. Okay, mainly used for testing the strategies. So that is what you need to call. So what we have created now is we have created a persona. That's what we have created. So let us try in Dev Studio if that works. So let us check it here. So I'll just click here and you can just click on save and run. Yeah, still it's the same thing. Okay, so if you see when I click on down arrow, I'm expecting the demo customer to be displayed. So that context error is just, you can try it in your version. I think it should work here. What we can do, okay, I'll just check that one. Okay, I'll just check that one. What we can do, I'll just try to do some workaround on this and we'll get back on that. But what I want to say is, in order to test this particular logic that you have created, right? So we have created some strategy and we are checking if the customer's annual income is greater than 5 lakhs, then select propose this strategy, this offer. If it is less than 5 lakhs, propose this offer. That's what we are saying. Now we need to test it, right? We need to test with the customer data now. Till now we did not test with customer data. That's why we did not select anything. But now we need to test with customer data. So there are three options that is given: data transform, which is called as persona. Okay, so call it as a persona. So we can use a persona, we can use a data set, we can use a data flow. So these two topics we did not yet cover, so we'll see it in the coming sessions. But right now what we are trying to create is, we are trying to create a persona. Okay, we are trying to create a persona. So you see already this is there, but still it is not getting displayed. So that is a problem. So we'll try to work around and we'll show you tomorrow. Any questions still here on the switch component also, right? On the switch component also we have seen. So what does the switch component will do? Switch between multiple incoming components. Switch is used to switch between multiple incoming components based on the condition that is satisfied. Okay, for example, you can connect some 3 to 4 components to the switch, and for each component you need to specify the condition. Okay, for this component this is a condition, for the second component this is the condition. So whichever the condition is satisfied, that component will be selected. So that is what the switch component will do. Okay, clear on these components that we have seen today? Basically the filter, proposition data, set property, prioritize, switch component, and we just started with the persona also. That's a persona creation. So persona, don't think that's a complex term or something. Persona is nothing but just a data transform with some hard coded data. Okay, data transform with a hard coded data is called as persona. Okay, clear on this components? Any questions?
One thing, Ravi, if we are using switch components, then we don't require filter component in the strategy, correct?
Right,
Because
right,
filter will
correct.
also.
Yes, correct. Filter will also do the same thing, but the thing is filter will remove the all the conditions which is not satisfying. That is what it will do. But this will also do the same thing, but there you can keep only one condition. You cannot keep multiple conditions for multiple incoming components. Okay, that's the only difference. But otherwise both look similar, but the difference is that here you can keep multiple conditions, each condition for each component. But filter altogether you will keep one condition only.
Yes,
Clear, right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you can see I can have multiple components, and for each component you need to specify one condition. Like that it will. So it will be like a if, else if, otherwise, right? If condition, else if condition, otherwise condition. Like this, the switch will be there. But filter will be only like if. That's it. Only one condition. Okay. So if we can see anything, we cannot see anything. Yesterday we have seen the aggregation. Also try to see that aggregation annotation component. That also we have seen that. Okay, what else? Okay, yeah, so we will continue tomorrow. So we'll see this data transform, which is also called as persona. So we'll see creating a persona, and we'll try to test the strategy with the persona, and we'll see the remaining topic tomorrow. All right, then see you tomorrow.
Ravi, actually the persona is nothing but we can give an app studio, right? Username.
What is it?
Something. So persona we can able to give the in app studio, right? We can
Yeah,
create
that is
the
a persona in that's a persona in the case management. That is
uh,
different persona. That is so that persona is nothing but access group.
yes,
Okay.
yes, whenever
So that's like access group, but here persona is a data transform. So that is a
okay.
difference. Two things we have seen till now. Case means customer. In Pega decisioning, case means customer. If you see any word called case, that means it's a customer. And persona in Pega decisioning means a hard coded data transform. Okay, that you call it as a persona in Pega decisioning. But in Pega BPM, we call it as access group. So it's nothing but access group in development. Here it will be data transform. Okay. Yeah, as we progress, we will see a lot of personas and how do we test with the persona, all those things we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it will be somewhat conflicting, but try to take the difference.
One question, like Flow has some guidelines of 15 shapes. Do we have something here as well for the components?
I think here also some guidelines will be there. I think some 30 components, I believe. I'll just check the exact number. But
Okay.
I think some 30 components you can keep without any performance issues. So even though you can keep more components also, but it's not recommended. Your strategy might get into performance issue if you keep more than 30. But the exact number I'll tell you. I think it's only 30 only. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So that is the reason the Pega decisioning has given one more thing called external sub strategy. So just like for example, if your data transform is going out of 25 steps, what you will do? You will refactor that into multiple data transforms, right? Same thing you can do here also. If your strategy is having so many components, you can refactor that and you can keep it in another strategy also. You see sub strategies there. So like this, you will remove all these components, you will keep it in that strategy, so that you can minimize the number of components in the strategy. So that is option
Like
is there,
the
we'll see that.
process, right,
Yeah,
Ravi?
like a sub process, yes. No, not like sub process, not exactly like sub process. It is like another strategy. Okay, it's like another strategy, parallel it will run.
So in
Okay.
like future classes, you're gonna show that how it works and all, right, Ravi?
Yes, yes, yes. We'll cover all these things. Okay, we will cover this. So it is same like calling a data transform from data transform, calling an activity from an activity. Same way we can call a strategy from strategy. That is what this will do. So this is another strategy that you can call. Yeah, we'll cover these things. Okay. Okay. So we'll just continue from where we have left. We'll start the persona testing tomorrow, and we will see some other topic as well tomorrow. So if no other questions, then close it and we'll continue tomorrow. So please go ahead and enroll. Please go through the existing recordings. Go ahead with confidence. You will get the recordings. You will get the PPTs. You will get the notes. Everything will be given to you. And every week you will also get the exercise. So whatever the components that we have covered today, this week, whatever topics we have discussed, everything will be given as an assignment to you, so that you can practice that assignment whichever I am giving to you. Okay, so that will also be given at the end of the course. You will get the interview questions, some sample projects that you can keep in the resume. You will also get the certification dumps. Okay, all these will be provided as part of the enrolled sessions. So please go ahead and enroll so that you can get the recordings and everything as soon as possible. All right.
Ravi, I have enrolled the course. So, like, do we get in WhatsApp or any email deal will be
Now
there?
the Harsha Trainings, they will give you the link to the Google Drive. So you
Okay,
can contact your organizer. They will send it to you.
sure. Thank
Ravi, I have one question.
Yes, please tell me.
Actually, I have installed 24 in my local system, Searchpad and Streampad, WebPad, uh, Dashpad. Both the four are working, but somehow
Mhm.
the DDS and DM real-time and this is not working. Do you know any idea where we need to do the changes under?
So you installed Pega CDH in local system?
Yeah, local CDH and Pega also 24 version 24.1.
Okay,
It is working
just do
fine.
one thing. You
Pega.
can, yeah. Have you enrolled to the course?
Yes, yes, I have enrolled it.
Okay, just message me on the group chat, or you can message me on the WhatsApp. We'll connect
Mhm.
separately. Okay. So we'll
Yeah,
have a
I have
screen share
installed
and
even
see what.
CDH also I have
Yeah.
installed, but whenever I create the application, it is saying that Cassandra is not running because as per the
Mhm.
Pega recommended, we have to externalize Cassandra. But even
Yeah,
when I
that's what
create the
we will just check
but
the error. What is the error that you are getting, so that I'll be able to help you.
Pega
Okay.
out of the box means Pega plain vanilla, it is
Hmm.
working
Can
fine.
Can you share that screenshot in the group chat? We'll check it and let you know what is the issue. Hmm?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, since I think you will be added to the group, just post the screenshot in the group and you can get the solution. Yeah, so that is the advantage. So whoever has enrolled, we are adding to the WhatsApp group also. If you are getting any errors while practicing, while going through the recordings, you can post it in the group chat as well. So we'll try to address the issue as soon as possible. Okay, so please go ahead and let me know once you enrolled. I hope that today will be the last demo session, but let me check with them. Okay, so from tomorrow onwards, there might be a paid sessions. All right, then see you all tomorrow.